Everyone is entitled to freedom. Freedom is the North Star that guides our compass. Hello everyone, this is Javier Correa, Legal Director and Spokesman for the Rothbard Group. And today we're in Buenos Aires, Argentina, right in front of the famous Pink House, the presidential palace, here in the Argentinian capital, in the heart of South America. I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome you all to our channel and to introduce you to the Rothbard Group and to explain who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do. And there is no better place to start than here in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Now, let me tell you a bit of, first of all, why I decided to join the Rothbard Group and to support the Rothbard Group on this wonderful journey as their spokesperson and as legal director. I'm Venezuelan. I was born and raised in Venezuela, and I grew up during one of the worst economic collapses in recent economic history. Now, one of the few countries that actually went through similar economic circumstances was Argentina, where I'm standing now. And it doesn't come as a surprise that when we've spoken to Argentinian clients, I often can relate to them quite easily. We've lived through hyperinflation, banking controls, bank account freezes, and you name it, expropriations all over. We have seen the devastating effects of statist socialist policies on the economy that limit or eliminate free market economics, that eliminate the right to private property, the right to life, and the right to liberty. So, I decided to join the Rothbard Group on this wonderful journey of providing a beacon of freedom, a light at the end of the tunnel for all of those around the world who cherish freedom, who love freedom, and who want to ensure that their freedom is protected. It has to be done legally and it has to be done ethically. The struggle for freedom and the fight for freedom in our time has to be done within the confines of the law and with all the tools available to us under international and domestic laws. So, what is the Rothbard Group, who we are, and what do we do? So basically the Rothbard Group is a business consultancy company that was born with one goal in mind: to empower entrepreneurs and investors to achieve the level of freedom that they are entitled to, especially in this digital age when so many entrepreneurs and investors out there have location-independent online businesses. Especially that is truly a great opportunity to enhance global freedom and global mobility. So, what does the Rothbard Group offer to all entrepreneurs and investors out there who want to achieve this level of freedom and who want to preserve it moving forward? Number one, stellar international multi-jurisdictional tax planning to ensure that your tax bill is not higher than it should be. Number two, international multi-jurisdictional corporate structuring to ensure that the right foundations, trusts, LLCs, and corporations are set up in the ideal jurisdictions to ensure not only tax neutrality, but also robust privacy and asset protection. Number three, enhanced global mobility with visas, residence permits, and citizenships to make sure that you're able to pursue those business opportunities regardless of borders, and understand that we now live in a borderless economy and that you should take advantage of that without any hassles. And trust me, as a Venezuelan, I know what it's like. I know how challenging it can be to want to do business internationally and to have all these barriers on an immigration side. I've overcome it, Rothbard Group helped me overcome it, and now we can help you overcome those challenges. Number four, international multi-jurisdictional banking. Cross-border banking and payment processing has become essential for most online and borderless businesses out there, and it is an essential part to any international business plan. We're here at the Rothbard Group, we stand ready to assist. Whether you need international wealth management accounts in order to access those valuable investments that you want to access in other jurisdictions, or you just need a simple checking account for your business or personal, we again stand ready to assist to make sure that you have the freedom to move your money even if governments don't want you to do so. And I tell you, here in Argentina and in my home country of Venezuela, we live through that. I know what it's like to have the government tell you, you cannot move your money out of the country. You can only spend 1% of what is in your account. You can only access a given amount of money for a given expenditure, even though you make millions a year. I know what it's like. I had to overcome that as a child, as a teen. I opened my first offshore bank account when I was 18 years old. And that is the reason why I now, through the Rothbard Group, help people from around the world achieve international banking for increased privacy, asset protection, and capital mobility. Number 5, another very important pillar of the Rothbard Group is the support of family. Here at the Rothbard Group, not only do we support freedom at an individual level and entrepreneurship, as well as risk-taking investment in general, we also support family formation. We believe family is at the cornerstone of Western civilization and of any functioning society. And this is why we want to see people have kids. We want to see people getting married. We want to see people starting families. And a big part of that is being able to pass on the wealth that you create to your kids and your grandkids. This is why we not only focus on income tax planning, but also estate and inheritance tax planning, so that you can ensure that your kids and grandkids will be able to enjoy the money that you have made in this lifetime and that you want to move on and pass down to them. In addition to that, this angle also expands to supporting the causes that feel dear to you, that are important to you. I know what it's like to have money confiscated from your private wealth to support government projects that I didn't necessarily agree with. Well, now I've empowered myself applying the Rothbard method to have my money and support the causes that I feel need supporting, whether those be religious, environmental, social, research, cultural, you name it. The key factor here is you are free to choose. You have the right to choose what causes you want to support and with how much money you want to support them. So we don't play politics here at Rothbard. We're politically neutral, but we want to empower you, the individual, to support your causes with your resources by giving you the power to make the right choices. The Rothbard Group is completely international and multi-jurisdictional in focus, meaning that while we are a global firm with a US perspective, we understand that freedom, unlike in the time of my grandparents or great-grandparents or yours, when immigrants were coming from Europe to the Americas, freedom is not found in one single place. True freedom now is found through careful structural planning, where you might bank in one location, incorporate in another, live in another, and hold citizenship from another. And all this is fine. True freedom is not one location, but rather one plan, the Rothbard Plan. The Rothbard Plan is freedom, and we are committed to helping our clients achieve freedom on every single level. Now, I mentioned a couple of seconds ago that we are a global firm with a US perspective, and this is because even though we do acknowledge the United States has become very aggressive when it comes to its tax rules, and trust me, I'm a tax attorney, I've passed the enrolled agent exam, I know how complicated and how difficult taxation is in the United States. However, one thing does not eliminate the other. I cannot overlook the fact, and Rothbard cannot overlook the fact, that the United States is still a beacon of freedom. The US Constitution is an example of what a constitution should be. The United States carries the values of freedom in its veins. The United States is the world's largest consumer market, and entrepreneurs would be foolish to ignore the importance of the US economy as a wealth generation engine in the years to come, and for any business, in particular, digital businesses. So, what is the Rothbard Group's motto? Substance over form. We want to ensure that entrepreneurs and investors have access to the United States while optimizing taxes as much as legally possible. In some cases that might be zero, in some cases that might not be zero. We prioritize US access while also optimizing US taxation, and we do it both ways. If you're an international entrepreneur investor from Canada, from Australia, from the UK, from Latin America, and you're dreaming of doing business in the United States, of selling into the US market, Rothbard is your ally. We are the key to unlock the US market, potentially at a zero tax rate for you investors that are out there in foreign countries and that are foreign persons wanting to access the US. We also do it the other way around. If you are an American-based investor, you're out there in Silicon Valley, you're out there in Austin, Texas, you're a finance champ in New York or Brickell, Miami, and you are dreaming of expanding your business internationally. You value your US citizenship or your green card. You admire the United States and you're proud to be an American, as we are proud to support the United States. But you also understand that the world has changed, that it's not 1950 anymore, and that the US is a great place to be, but it's not the only place to be anymore. Then Rothbard is also your ally. Unlike the traditional CPA or tax attorney or EA down the road where you live in Miami or Little Rock, Arkansas, we have a global perspective with a US vision, meaning that we understand the unique needs of US-based entrepreneurs that want to expand internationally, and we stand ready to assist. So, this is Rothbard. We are proud supporters of American values and of the American economy in general, but we also believe in the multi-jurisdictional, multipolar world. We are a modern, digital-first business advisory firm that stands ready to assist. Rothbard is a company built on the values of freedom, ready to support freedom-oriented individuals in the United States and around the world. And you have to understand and you have to know that for the Rothbard team, the struggle for freedom is personal. I, individually, as Javier, know that freedom, just like Ronald Reagan said, is truly one generation away from extinction. I saw the light of freedom go extinct in Venezuela, and I joined the Rothbard Group to help thousands of entrepreneurs around the world make sure that their freedom, their flame, will never go extinct, will never be turned off. If you like what you heard and you want to join us on this wonderful journey across multiple jurisdictions, exploring freedom in the 21st century, tax optimization, global mobility, entrepreneurship without borders, subscribe to this YouTube channel, drop a comment down below, say freedom, and feel free to check out www.rothbardgroup.com for further information. And I'll see you in the next video.